There is too many spider people. Spider-Man, Spider-Woman, Symbiote Spider-Man, Ghost Spider, Scarlet Spider, 2099 Spider, Spider-Ham. We don't need any more spider characters ever.
Never ever!
Is it worth it?
What's going on, nerds? Let's jump right in. Madame Web is a 2 energy 1 power card that reads, ongoing, you can move one of your other cards away from here each turn. Overall impressions. Is this the best move card ever? Really? Maybe? I don't know. Maybe. Yes. It's better than Doctor Strange and like Cloak, probably Iron Fist and Ghost Spider, and those are all staples in move. But either way, it's a move ability that can trigger 4 times a game. No, 3 times a game. Because on you can't do it till turn 3. So yeah, it's a move card that triggers 3 times a game if played on turn 2, which is better than every other move enabler in the game. But whether or not it's going to be like good enough to put move over the top and actually make it a top meta contender, you can't tell until the card actually comes out. All right, the pros and cons, the good and bad. First thing here under good is it's repeatable. Sort of touched this on the overall impressions, but there is no other move effect that's repeatable. Cloak can do multiple cards in one go, and yeah, Iron Fist and Ghost Spider are repeatable if you like play Beast and Falcon. But aside from that, there's no other card that's gonna do as much. Oh, I guess Hercules. Hercules is repeatable, but it has like a weird caveat and a thing you have to do. Madame Web is just repeatable without any hoops to jump through. Second good thing is it's hard to stop. Well, I guess you could Enchantress this card, but like, really, are you gonna Rogue and Enchantress a move card? That seems silly. So aside from those dumb plays, this card's hard. You can't stop her. She's unstoppable. And then the last good thing here is she makes a lot of cards better. Every card that says move on it, except for Cyclops, technically does say move on it somewhere in the quotes, but every card that has a move ability at all, she makes better. So one card making like 10 cards that much better is a pretty big impact. But what are the downsides? What's the bad stuff about Madame Web? The first thing is the most obvious thing. She's only good in move. Yes, she might like see some super duper niche play with like being able to move stuff out of lanes and like clog decks or something. I've seen some people bring that up, but I think that's absolutely ridiculous. Don't do that. It's a waste of a card. So yeah, this card is only good in one archetype ever. And that brings us to point 2 is lots of cards that are like good and that seem like one deck only cards still see some play outside of that. Like Cannonball, for instance, that people thought that was just a junk card to start, and then it turned into like a lockdown card with Professor X, and now it's back to being a junk card. Or Craven is a good example of this too. Craven, on its face, seems like a move-only card, but there's like tempo decks that can use Silk and Craven pretty well together. But Madame Web, I don't think she has any applications in any deck outside of move. All right, potential deck list. I am going with a bounce move list because I just think this is better than the Heimdall versions. Falcon and Beast give you a lot of more targeted move effects by bouncing your Iron Fist and your Ghost Spider and your Nico back to your hand, as opposed to just having one big play on the end with Heimdall. So I think if you're gonna play move, my preference at least is something like this. But yeah, Madame Web just fits in, right? It just fits in here. The amount of triggers you're going to be able to pull off on Human Torch, Dagger, and Vulture is ridiculous. And then also pairing Madame Web with Hercules. You have Hercules in one lane, Madame Web in another. You can move something out of that lane into the Hercules lane, and then Hercules will knock it out. Vultures and Daggers and Human Torches in this specific deck, and with Madame Web specifically releasing, they're gonna get so big. There's gonna be, I think seeing like a 21 power Vulture is gonna be super duper common. I don't know if 21's the correct power, but I think you're gonna get like 40 power Human Torches, 30 power Vultures, 30 power Daggers on the regular with a deck like this. All right, on my recommendation on whether or not you should actually spend resources to get Madame Web. So as far as tokens go, this is weird. It's like, I would say pretty much the same argument as like Meek with discard. If you are a move fanatic and you know you're going to play move a lot, then sure, spend the 6k tokens on Madame Web, because I think from this point forward, you're not going to see many move decks without Madame Web. But if you're not going to absolutely play move unless it's a top meta contender, I think you should hold on to your tokens and see if she's as good as she appears to be. Just wait a couple of days, see if content creators and the stuff they put out is catching on, and just see how the meta shapes. Then you can make your decision. So as far as keys go, using keys to get Madame Web, I think if you don't have Silk or Elaheh, then spending keys to get either of those plus Madame Web is great. That's good value. Silk isn't really used much now, but at one point it was one of the most popular cards in the game. Elaheh is just like universally decent 6-drop that can go in multiple decks. So picking up either of those alongside Madame Web I think is good. Now if you have Elaheh or Silk, I think my statement or whatever I'm supposed to say right there would be the same as with keys. Just wait 3 or 4 days and see if Madame Web ends up being as good as she seems. Because if you have Elaheh or Silk and you're not sure about Madame Web, hold on, wait for like 2 or 3 days.
That's really about it. See ya.